Hey guys, it's So Square and Cubed. You're seeing my face, yay! At this point in time, it's been a few months since our trip. You'll be seeing this video the day before Halloween. It's a very special video full of a bunch of spooky stuff, and inside of it, it has some of the most horrific stories that we heard while we were taking the ghost tour on our San Antonio trip. Some of these stories are very gruesome. They involve brutal murder, a lot of very gory details. So if you want to skip this video, if you absolutely cannot handle that, I completely understand. If, however, you have a taste for the macabre, if you want to hear horrifying, gross, nasty, horrific things, then this video is for you. In the description box below, I will link the timestamps to the different stories. That way, if you do still want to hear a couple of them, or maybe hear like the tame details of things, that's perfectly fine, and you can go to those timestamps. If you want to skip it altogether, then thank you for watching this intro. Have a lovely day. I love you, and I'll see you later. If you come back Thursday, the day after Halloween, there will be a video just detailing the last day of our trip. We didn't really do a whole lot, but it's just a nice little like getting back to normal kind of thing. So thank you in advance for watching if you do continue to the end of the video. If you can't, I completely understand. I know some of these things are just not for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy, and let's get to the official story intro. So during the ghost tour, we visited a lot of different locations. You've seen a bunch of them. We went to the Alamo, the Emily D. Morgan Hotel. In this video, you will see us go to the Casino Club building, the San Fernando Cathedral, which is a beautiful place. We also visit the Military Plaza and the Governor's Palace. And then our last stop on the tour is the site that used to be the Bexar County Jail and is now home to a hotel that doesn't even say what it used to be, which is pretty intense. I'm really thankful the way they did this tour because now the different sites are kind of in order from least horrific to most horrific. So if you want just some nice tame stories, I recommend that you stick around for the Casino Club building and the San Fernando Cathedral. If you want to hear all the gross, nasty details of history, all the brutal murders, everything like that, stick around for the Governor's Palace and the Bexar County Jail stories.
One of the more conspicuous buildings on our tour, the Casino Club building, was originally the site of a speakeasy, built during the early days of Prohibition. Just a quick note for any of our younger viewers, a speakeasy was an illegal underground bar, most popular in the 20s when alcohol was outlawed, aka Prohibition. Nowadays, a speakeasy is just a hipster bar where you go to get hit on by guys you don't even know or like. The Casino Club building has since been converted into apartments and hosts souls of both the living and the dead. We ask that you inspect the lobby a bit closer during your visit, and if you're lucky enough, some nights, if you focus very closely by the mailboxes, you may still see the spirit of a Mexican soldier in the lobby guarding his post. We then made the trek to the San Fernando Cathedral, the oldest operating cathedral in the United States. It was built in the 1700s and is still open to the public as a church to this day. Inside, there's a marble sarcophagus that is said to hold the remains of the heroes of the Alamo. When settlers first came to the area in the 1700s, they had moved into Native American territory, leading the two groups to fight for many years, until 1749, when both groups came to an agreement of peace. To honor this agreement, they dug a hole in the center of the plaza, and their weapons of war, including a single live horse, were buried in the city center. Peace was kept for an impeccable 3 entire days. Around the back of the church, you can still see some of the original walls from the 1700s. There is a secret buried within these walls, and that secret is bodies. These bodies were delicately placed with dates of their passing, as one would do for a proper burial of someone they love. Because of this secret, people claim that they can see faces within the older walls of the church. While we were looking at these faces, as pointed out to us by our tour guide, my phone, which I was recording on, took a series of 15 snapshots without being touched. After our guide pointed out the faces in the walls, she encouraged us to touch the cathedral doors and showed us a photo sent in by one of the tourists of a shadow passing through those very doors. If you would like to see any of the photos shown to us by the tour guide, we recommend that you check out the Sisters Grimm Ghost Tour Facebook page, as they have all the photos there. Our second to last stop was the Spanish Governor's Palace and the Military Plaza. It was here that many people spent their last days before their execution. Prisoners kept here were all on death row, and their executions took place in the very back courtyard of the plaza, which hosts the original tree on which prisoners were hung. Almost everything about this building has been kept in pristine condition from when it was built in 1749, the only replacements being the glass on the windows and the entryway doors. The original doors rotted away, but in their place is an exact replica. In 1869, the building was used as a residence, hosting a family consisting of a man, a woman, and their daughter. Leaving his family for a short time, the woman and daughter were left behind. And during this time, there was a robbery attempt that ended in horrible tragedy. In the front room, the robbers brutally killed the woman, later found the daughter, and sold her into slavery. The woman still roams the halls as the so-called Lady in Grey. The daughter, however, escaped her bonds later in life and came back to her childhood home, writing her story down for the world to know. She is now seen in this building as a small orb, or sometimes a full figure, crouching and hiding from her captors. It is also widely believed that the father still haunts these halls as well. Having returned from his trip to find his deceased wife and missing child, it is said that he hung himself out of grief and loss. In photos that happen to capture his form, you can just barely make out his clothing and a slight turn in his neck. Our final stop, home to one of the more gruesome parts of history, used to be a jail. Currently, it is a hotel on par with a Motel 6 that makes absolutely zero mention of its haunted past, because nothing is better than surprise ghosts with your complimentary breakfast. When this hotel was Bexar County Jail, prisoners would be marched up to the 3rd floor, staged to be hung, and dropped through a trapdoor down to the 2nd floor, where spectators would be waiting and watching. If that wasn't horrifying enough, the last person to be hung in this jail is by far one of the worst souls discovered on our tour. In 1921, Clemente Apolinar, having previously escaped multiple asylums, was known to take 10-hour-long walks down a few towns over to visit a special creek. One day he noticed 2 boys playing in the creek, as young boys do, and muddying the water. Becoming agitated, he chased down the 2 boys and brutally murdered one of them, the other luckily escaping. The next few details are incredibly gory, and if you would like to skip to the end, we ask that you please go to the timestamp on the screen. If you would like to hear the details of the murder and subsequent execution, please stay tuned. Clemente Apolinar chased down Theodore Bernhardt and his brother with a large rock, overtaking Theodore and using the rock to crush his skull. Clemente then took a trophy from the body and showed it to a bunch of people, and later this trophy was used to convict him. Theodore's brother, having survived, bravely went to townsfolk and authorities, and after a lengthy trial, Clemente was finally convicted and sentenced to death. The day of his execution, he was, as all prisoners were, marched to the 3rd floor and hung. When he dropped through to the 2nd floor, blood rained down upon the spectators as the rope was placed too tightly around his neck. Having been hung in such a gruesome way, Clemente is said to still wander the 2nd and 3rd floors of the building, able to be seen in his prisoner clothes. His spirit enjoys touching and messing with guests, so should you feel cold hands on your shoulder, know that you are in the presence of an otherworldly spirit, or possibly spirits. As this is one of the most violently haunted locations on the tour, there are stories abound of seeing spirits, furniture being thrown across rooms, and personal belongings being broken. The jail was finally shut down in 1962, but in the 2000s it was converted into a different brand of hotels. And to celebrate history and, of course, scare the absolute crap out of their guests, the hotel decided to display the noose with which Clemente was hung right in the lobby, because history or something.
Hey guys, we're about to go back to my normal speaking voice, so please change your volume as you need to. Alright guys, so tell me what you think. Would you like to go on this tour? Would you like to visit all of these haunted places? Would you maybe want to stay in that hotel that used to be the Bexar County Jail? Maybe see some fun poltergeist things. Absolutely all credit to the Sisters Grimm Ghost Tours. They were fantastic. Super fun to go on. They have a bunch of different kinds of tours. You can even do a dinner tour where you actually eat dinner in the Mangra Hotel, which I think is spectacular, and we would have done, but we didn't really have a whole lot of time to do everything that we wanted to, but maybe one day we'll go back. If you want to see some of the photos that we were talking about, if you want to see photos people have taken of ghosts while they were on these different tours, please go check out the Sisters Grimm Ghost Tour Facebook page. In their photos, they have an album that's just called Ghost Photos. Go check it out. The photos that they showed us while we were on the tour are in there. It doesn't seem like all of them are there, but I would say go check it out. Ask questions, comment on things, and just all around have a fun time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been enjoying all the spooky Halloween ghost stories and getting to read some stories to you guys and just tell you a little bit more about my trip. But of course on Thursday we are back to our regularly scheduled programming, and by that I mean Thursday's video will be our last day of our San Antonio trip. So please stick around, stay tuned, comment down below what you would like to see more of. I know this is a little weird for my channel, but you know, you take the good with the bad. You just have to take it all. That's life. That's life. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. As always, stay cool, stay cubed, and I'll see you later. Mwah. Toodles.